dive into my Canva sheet that I've used for my project over the last 2 months or a month and a half. Let's call it like that. So, what you're seeing here is my content plan. This is content that I have mapped out and that I've already had published on my YouTube channel. I can be very detailed and it really helps me a lot, especially when I have all the ideas and I want to share more clearly with my audience. So, what you are seeing on this content plan is one, ideal date to publish the content. Two, my content calendar day. Not my content calendar day. What am I saying? My content creation day. That's very important. Then, let me do something here. Right. Then I have the pain point. So I have the idea for my content. I think I probably needed to switch around some of the columns, but you'll get the flow. Then I have a column which is for pain point. As you know, I talk a lot about branding and being on brand and creating content that matches your audience. So of course, this is an important element. So I have my pain point column, I have my desire column, and this is related to my audience. Then I have the series, the content I am creating. Is it going to be a part of a series? So I have the series linked here, which content platform. Again, you have the option to do drop down, content type, long form, short form, reels, that kind of thing. Topic and theme, I have that, right? What is the topic? What am I going to be talking about? Again, I could reposition this particular column and then bringing awareness to the issue. What am I going to do to bring that across? Again, guys, this is just my method. You don't have to use the same thing, but I'm just showing you how I map out my content. Then why this works, why does this video work, why whatever I'm sharing is working, the structure for the content, the title for the content, the lead magnet, the service I might be promoting, if I'm going to repurpose it, and if I'm going to repurpose it on which platform, the tags, the keywords I'm going to use, the script, the status, and the thumbnail, and again, link to the video. This, guys, is everything that I have in my content plan. All right. So let me just break it down for you. So, like I said, I'm not just talking about using Canva Sheets, but how to use it effectively, how to use it in a way that works for you. No, like I said, content creation is part of your model. Then, of course, you want to be as detailed as possible and create it in a way that works for you. Okay. So, like I said, I have my ideal date. So how I use Canva Sheets was I went to the action section and then I looked for insert. I added my date. So I have April 21. So I'm going to go here and I have my date. I walked through that with you earlier. Content creation day, it's the same action you'll take. You go to insert, you find the date and you input it here. Pain point, these are things you should know, right? You're creating your content, you have your idea. These are things you should know. But one of the things that you can do is to use other features in Canva, other tools in Canva to make your life much easier. So if you realize I selected a series here, it is linked to my Canva docs and I'm going to select it. And what you're seeing here, so remember I talk about the visual suite where you can use one design with multiple formats in one. This is pretty much it. And I'm walking you through that as well. So I have my Canva docs here, which was created, and I'm going to show you how you can do that shortly. So I have it here. I've broken down my entire series. What are the topics? Which one I should do first? Which one should I do second? And as you realize, some of them I've done a strike through because I literally, created and published them, right? Or maybe went through the entire process, right? This needs some updating, but this is just the general gist of it, right? So as you realize, from my sheets, I was able to link to my doc. I'm going to go back to my Canva doc and note out an important thing. If I should select the three dots on the doc, you're going to see this title. Always give your every design, everything you create in Canva, give it a title because it's going to make it easier for you to create content in the long run. Then you have the option to delete the page, duplicate the page, copy the link to this page, or even convert it to a presentation or add notes. These are some things you can do. All right, I'm jumping back over to my sheets. No, the other tab I have is content platform. No, like I said earlier, I create for different platforms. This needs to be a little bit updated. So I'm going to delete reel, delete carousel, email, any, right. So I have my options here. I have YouTube, LinkedIn, email. I can go and change the color if I want. I can say change for all or just this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say change for all. This just make sure you do everything at once so you're not all over the place. So I'm going to choose this option to change the color. So let me go back here. I'm going to select edit, change the color. Oh, I keep on wondering what's happening. And then I select the color I want and it is changed, right? And I'm saying change for all, sorry, change for all. And if I should go back here, I'll see that the color was changed. Again, it's the text color that is changed, right? A little bit of the, it's not the background, it's just the text color. All right, so we have that there. You can add the different options, and how you do that, you select the cell, then you go to actions, then you go to drop down, because that is where you're going to go to add the different options. And this is good. Instead of every time you're creating like the one text. Makes no sense. Remember, we're working smarter, not harder. And then in our other column, which is content type, you use the same approach, you just using drop down. So for me here, I have long form content, 10 to 15 minutes, carousel, reel, live, long form to 5 to 10 minutes, long form 15 minutes plus. It gives me structure so I can know how long I want these videos to be created, right? Then in my other column, I have my topic again. So what if, maybe, you created this and you want to move it? I could highlight this column and I could go to the section that says, hold on, I should be able to move it. So I'm going to drag it, right? And I will drag it here. So let me zoom out a little. So I'm going to drag it. Hold on 1 second. I should be able to drag it. I'm not sure what I am missing. But okay. All right, I'm going to test back this, but you should be able to drag it. I am not seeing the option. All right, let me just check this out, and quite possibly I will come back and tell you how to do that. But you should be able to drag, unless I'm not doing something correct at this point. All right, but you should be able to drag it. All right, let me just zoom in again. All right, perfect. No, you also have, bring awareness to the issue, why this works, that kind of thing. But really and truly, I want to show you how you can use Magic Write again for coming up with a title. Just saying you're drawing blanks and you need some ideas. Let's jump into Magic Write. So for the title, I'm going to delete the one I have. I am going to choose my, let's say I'm going to use my content idea, right? Topic, right? Let me use my content topic / theme. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going over to title. Then I'm going to actions on the toolbar. I'm going to select Magic Write. And then I'm going to say, help me to come up with a creative, catchy title for my YouTube video based on, and this is where it is going to be important for you to learn how to prompt well. Like if you don't know how to prompt, then as I say, garbage in, garbage out, that's exactly what is going to happen. and I'm inserting. So they suggest the title of Build a Magnetic Brand, Master Cohesive Pro Level Presence across all social media platform. Again, you don't have to run with this idea of a title. You can create your own. But what I'm showing you is that you can use Magic Write to help you to come up with the title for that content. So if you have the content idea, you map out what the pain points are going to address, the desires of your audience, you have everything, but you're just not coming up with a title, then this will help you significantly, which is using Magic Write. No, the other option I have here is lead magnet. I can select and drop down again. So these are just the singing functionalities and again for repurposing. No, if for instance I didn't have my keywords here, I could just double click and delete it. So we're using it as a blank cell, and I need to have some keywords tags that I want to use on my YouTube channel as as part of SEO. I can go again to actions, choose Magic Write, and I'm going to say, hey, please help me with tags suitable for this video. All right, based on, all right, and it is being generated, and I'm going to insert, right? I think, right, it's inserted. So these are now my keywords that I've created using Magic Write. So these are the little things. You have the idea, but no, you need to be able to map out certain other little things that you might be drawing blanks on. You utilize the tool for purposes like that. No, I want to jump in an exciting part, because one of the key things I would suggest when you're creating content, especially if you're not naturally, probably good on camera, you need a little guidance, you need a flow instead of always like trying to free flow things. Create a script. No, creating the script, you might have a blank cell. So I'm going to delete this here. And no, I need to have a script. Maybe I've not created one. As you realize, I have some docs here, and I will just show you that I've already created my script. But what if I didn't create a script already? I could go ahead where you see this plus sign that says add a page. I could select add page, which is going to give me the similar design to the last thing that was created. We don't want that. All right. So I'm going to delete that. But I'm going to select the upper arrow that says add page type. That's the one you want to create, add page type. Unless you want to create a similar type of doc or design to the last one you did, you want to select add a page type. In this option, and this is the exciting thing about the visual suite, is now you can choose literally anything and add it here. You can add another sheet, you can add a Canva doc, you can add your presentation, whiteboard, social media, video, print, anything at all that you want to create that is relevant and related to the main doc that you have. You can create it here. In this section, I'm going to select doc. So I've created doc. This is a blank thing, right? Now I want to create a script. Mind you, you can go again here and use Magic Write and say, hey, please help me to create a script for a YouTube video on, and I include this, right? Of course, you want to ensure that whatever you're inputting makes sense to you. You think about the end in mind, and then I'm going to select generate. It is being generated. And this is my script, all right? Boom, insert. We now have a script. So one, it's telling you how to do your introduction. What's the first thing? What's the second step? What's the third step? What's the fourth step, fifth step, and so on. And I have my script outlined for my content. Amazing. This is like time saving, no overwhelm, anything at all, right? Of course, bearing in mind that you know what you're talking about. I have to put that out there. All right. And then no, I'm going to give my page a title. So I'm going to say script for video, and I can put in the date. So I'm going to say April 21st, 2025. You don't have to make it too long. Just make it something that you can easily link to and find. No, I can either copy this link to the page. So I'm going to copy the link for this page, go back to my sheets, And in the section that says script, maybe if I want to just type out a text, maybe I said script. I don't have to be honest. I could highlight the text and then, add the link here and done. I could do that. But there's another option. I'm going to delete this, right? There is another option where I can just simply go to actions and select link. And once I select link, okay, good. I think I'm moving a little too fast. Right. So once I select link, you're going to see this gray bar pops up. There's nothing there currently. So once I click it, I can just paste my link here and I can say done. Once I say done, I can change the text in this section and I can say this is the script for video, right? So I'm able to change the text here. So one, you're seeing the text, which is the title or the text you want to have in the box. Then I have the link to the video. Then I have the display mode, which is link or title, right? So we have link, and now I'm going to view it, and this is what it looks like. So there are just so many ways you can do one thing, but what I did earlier, just reiterate, was that one, I created a script, using the Visual Suite, creating a new page type, which is the doc. Then I use Magic AI to help me to generate the script that I want. And then what I did was to copy the link to the page and then link it. But then there's another way. You could also add the script to this as well, right? And I'm going to show you for something else. All right. So these are just ways you can use Canva Sheets. These are ways you can use Sheets, from ideating to mapping out an entire calendar for your content. Now I have the status, published, to be created, to be edited, that kind of thing. And then I have YouTube thumbnail. As you realize, this is specifically created. This content is for specifically for YouTube. But again, you can do the same thing for your Instagram and so on. As you realize here, it is already linked. So I'm just going to delete it. And I can simply go here and say action, and I want to link to a Canva design. So on my toolbar, I select actions, scroll all the way down to the section that says insert, and look for Canva design. Once I see Canva design, I am going to go ahead now and search based on how what would I say, title my designs. If you don't have a good saving way how you give your designs or anything you create a good system, it's going to be hard to find your stuff, right? So this is some designs I created just for YouTube thumbnails. If this is the design I wanted to use, I could just simply select it here. And once I select it, the link is there. I can select the link. All right, so let me select the link here. And it will open to the actual designs that I have in Canva, right? So as you realize, this is not linked in the Sheets doc or the document that I created. This is an entirely different tab or design that I created with my YouTube thumbnails, right? So you could do it this way, link into Canva designs that you have in a whole different design that you created, or you could go back to your sheets, right? And you could literally create a page. So you could go here and say, listen, I'm going to create a YouTube thumbnail. You're going to select social media. You're going to search for YouTube, right? Because again, the best option to do all of this is to choose exactly the platform you want to create for. It is already optimized. Select YouTube thumbnail. And if you want, you can go here and design from scratch, or you can go to projects similar to like what I did and search again based on how you saved your document and select YouTube thumbnail. And then I can scroll through and find the thumbnail, right? So this is what it will look like if you just select view all. So you see all the different document types. You're seeing the sheets, you're seeing Canva docs, you're seeing social media graphic, you're seeing all the things that is related and relevant to creating your content. Now, this is chef's kiss. I love to say chef's kiss, genius. It is merging the data with design. And then lastly, if I want to link everything now to, I have my content mapped out, everything. I have when it was supposed to be published. I have my YouTube thumbnail that I designed. And now I want to link it to the actual video. I'm going to use the same thing by going to the toolbar, select actions, add the link. And once I select it, it is going to take me to that YouTube video that I created, right? And this is just an easy way for you to track. It is an easy way for you to track what you have from ideation process to actual execution, right? You're not doing anything that, require you to just be all over the place. Everything is in one place. All right. If you have any questions, if you are watching this replay and you're like, listen, Carey, I love this. I love everything you're talking about. I'd love to, tell me more. Like, how are some other creative ways I can use Sheets? Just drop it in the link below, right? So this is exactly how you can utilize Canva Sheets for creating your content. From the ideas standpoint, you can utilize it from creating the content, and mapping out everything. There are other things that you can do in this that we won't go through today, which one of which is being able to bulk create your content, being able to just fill the empty sheet. We went through that, being able to look at magic charts. I have a video coming out on that. The magic insights. These are all amazing things that you can do in Canva using Canva Sheets. So I've walked you through from, let's just do a quick recap. Let's just do a quick recap from top to bottom of what I walked you through. So what I walked you through was one, being able where to start from with creating a blank sheet, being able to look at where to find templates. If you don't want to create it from scratch, you just want to get something ready made, jump in, by all means, use a template. But if you want to create from scratch, you can map out your entire thing. And if you're drawing blanks, like, how do I do this entire thing? Then, of course, you can use tools like the features like Magic Write to help you to map out your script and being able to link your script to your sheet, being able to link your actual graphic design to your script so that when you go on your sheet, right? When you go on your calendar and you're like, okay, what was this series about again? Let me see. You simply go to the link, you click it, it pops it up. All right. You want to go back again. You want to see which platform. You want to see the video length, all the things. You want to see maybe what was the lead magnet. You want to see the script, like I mentioned earlier, or you want to see the thumbnail. You can do all the things here. Being able to ideate, to execute, and being able to track. At the end of everything, if you wanted to, you could just highlight your entire text and get some insights. All right. Like I said, we're not going through that today, but this is just really good. Like, as I said, I use Notion. I love Notion. It's just one of those platforms that made me feel like I had some structure because I was able to add the tables, but being able to do everything in Canva was just, guys, chef's kiss. Being able to do everything in Canva was chef's kiss. So, if you have any questions about Sheets, about anything else, then of course just comment below and say, hey, I'd love to know how I can use Canva Sheets for X purpose. I want to learn how to use Magic Write for X purpose. I have a lot of videos on my channel about how to use Magic Write, how to use Canva Docs. And if you realize, a lot of this comes back down to just ideas, just having the brilliant ideas and just knowing which tools, which features to utilize and to create with. All right. Before I close out, I definitely just want to share one last thing about Canva Sheets. And you might be wondering, okay, Carey, how can I share? How can I share this doc with my team. You onboard an assistant, you have a small team. How can I share this? You're going to go to share, right at the top right hand corner. Then you are going to go to public view. This is an amazing way to share docs these days, one of my favorites, because you can always go in, make some changes if you need to, and it is updated in real time. So you copy the link, not copy, select and create public link view. Once I select public link view, I am now able to see what it looks like. So let me just copy that here, open up a new tab. It's coming up. You're going to see what it looks like. And here, what you are seeing is the actual sheet. You can scroll through, take your time. So if you're a social media manager, if you work with a lot of clients, whatever reason you're using Sheets for, you need to share it, they can just scroll through, they can click the links. It directs them to where they should go, of all the public access, everything, right? And this is the sheet section. But what if they want to scroll through? They can just scroll through and see all the other designs that is in this. So this is the multi-design format for your content, or that is created in Canva. All right. And they can scroll through, see all the things. Perfect, perfect, perfect.